and welcome back. We are here today to talk about the Summer House Season 9 Reunion Part 2. It's the final part. I personally feel like it was a little bit shorter than the other part of the reunion, which is fine. We didn't have much to go over anyway, so whatever. Let's get right into it. Lexi. My patience is wearing thin with her. I do personally feel like there is a lack of ownership on Lexi's part when it comes to the her and Jesse drama, right? Do I think that Jesse is so innocent and he's too stupid to be manipulative? No, absolutely not, right? I don't agree with the girls on that one. However, the things that Lexi keeps saying, trying to put it all on Jesse to why she has no relationship with the girls, that's not fair either. She said that he kept her from having a relationship with the girls. At the end of the day, I do think that the girls reached out as much as they could. They did everything within their power to let Lexi know that they were there for her, right? At the slumber party, sleepover, bedbug party, they pulled her aside and they said, listen, we wouldn't deal with this if we were you. He's lying. He's being a little bit conniving. It's BS. They really surrounded her. Amanda even said at the reunion, I wish you would have come to me if I would have known you felt so lonely. All of the girls said it just really seemed like you were with the boy that you liked and you were enamored with him. And we were like, okay, she knows where to find us if she wants to. And at the end of the day, Lexi did not go find them. All we can do is move forward now, right? So if she wants a relationship with any of these women, she can build one without Jesse present. I think that she, again, is just avoiding responsibility in her part and saying like, yeah, I spent all summer running up behind Jesse and that was on me. I shouldn't have never put all my eggs in the Jesse basket. But moving forward, I know better and I will never trust him again. Do I think that Jesse is behind the scenes saying, oh, don't trust this person, but trust this person, but trust this person? Not necessarily. Do I think he's a little bit of a gossip girl, a Dan Humphries, if you will? Absolutely. I think there's a lot of talking about, like Lindsay said, perception, who the audience really likes to, what they want to do, their goals, and how they want to go about, you know, this whole thing that we call a reality TV show. And in that, Jesse said some things probably like, oh, this person is a fan favorite. That's kind of what I pulled from it in between him and Lexi's like, ooh, right? All in all we need to do at this point is move forward. And I hate to say this. I understand what Jesse is saying when he is like, she's trying to make me out to be some terrible, horrible person. And I don't think that he purposefully like lured her away from the others in the group to keep her to like not form any other relationships. I think deep down Jesse Solomon is a dweeb who's really never had like a hot girl's attention, and he was really excited, so he was like love bomby to her. When it comes to the Sierra and Lexi of it all, I do just quite frankly think that Lexi is full of shit. I do. I rolled my eyes so hard when she sat there and was like, I really do want a friendship with you, because after this reunion was filmed, she still did press and talk shit about Sierra. So I was going to say, what is it? I feel like we know what it is. Lexi is doing that thing where she thinks just because she feels it, it's true. Yes, feelings are valid. Feelings are not facts. Okay. So I completely understand being in a new environment. I don't know these people. I'm really hesitant to like reach out or branch out from the one person that I do know the best and start forming these new relationships, especially so late in the summer when there's not so much time left. But there's a responsibility there that she needs to own, and I don't think that she's owning from what I've seen on the TV screen. But I also don't want to talk about her and Jesse Solomon ever again. I know that much. There was also an update on Lindsay Turner, who is the father of her child, which is that they are not romantically together anymore. And honestly, I think this is great. I really do. I have spoken before on the internet about my ex-husband and my relationship and how I had started doubting whether or not I even wanted kids or not, and when I've always wanted children, right? Because I was in this relationship that I knew that I did not want to bring kids in, and I'm a child of divorce. So how I see parenting and bringing kids into the world is that I want to have kids with somebody that I know I'm going to be able to co-parent with no matter what. And we are going to be able to, at the end of the day, whether we're mad at each other or not, still be comfortable with that person parenting our child, and then like their family. And I think that from what Lindsay says, she's fine as long as Gemma sees both of her parents happy. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. And I know that everybody has this traditional way of thinking and everybody thinks they know what's best for children, but in this case, I think they're fine. And maybe that's, again, what's best for Lindsay. I've heard people say like, oh, she got him to get her pregnant. Like, those are two grown consenting people. She did not get him to get her pregnant. The man's a doctor, for heaven's sake. Like, he definitely knows how it's done. Speaking of baby talk, when it comes to Kyle and Amanda, I cannot shake my head enough. You know, it feels like we've gotten so far, but also not far at all with Kyle and Amanda. What has changed is their reactions to things. And I would say, I'm not Kyle and Amanda. I'm not in their relationship. I see a small fraction of their relationship, right? I would say, I feel like their reaction to their issues is different than what it was before. Before, when it was a huge fight and, you know, name calling, things like that. Amanda said something that was very interesting to me, which was that she does not trust her husband. She said, I do not trust you, to him. And they've been together 9 or 10 years. Again, I was in a marriage where even when times were good and we were having laughs and having fun, I still knew in the back of my head, I do not trust this man. I do not trust this man. And I was like, I'm actually never in my, look, there were big blow up fights. And then there were times when after a while, I was just like, oh, it's not even worth it to fight anymore. Like, yeah, we definitely dialed back in how we communicated in our arguments, but that still at the core did not fix the relationship. And I had to make the decision of like, I know that I'm not going to trust him again. Okay. And listen, there may be times when Amanda's like, okay, I do trust him again and I don't trust him again. But I would say, from my point of view, it's really rough to be in, I would think it's really rough to be in a relationship where you do not consistently trust your partner. I found her statement of, I want to have kids, I'm ready to have kids with somebody who's ready to have kids with me, again, to her husband, to be very, very, very bizarre. Again, since I've been in what seems to be a similar situation, I think I see it a little bit differently. But at the end of the day, Kyle and Amanda's relationship is always going to be Kyle and Amanda's relationship. I don't think that they're ever actually going to break up, no matter how maybe unhappy they are. I do, again, I want to say, from what I see, I do personally feel like sometimes when I'm watching things and we're talking about Amanda's mental health, which we all know that she has struggled with, and she's in such a good place right now with, I have similar, like, I don't want to say issues, but similar struggles. I also feel like it's a little bit of like, okay, well, this may be what's best, but I'm on a medication right now and I feel great right now, like mentally, even though these issues are going on, and I don't want to rock the boat. Again, it's one of those things where Kyle and Amanda, it's just like, okay. Moving on to Paige and Craig. Listen, we really wrapped it up neatly. Paige finally admitted that she has been lying through her teeth, or had been lying through her teeth for that man. I get it. I totally get it. Again, been in a situation like that as well. I think my thing with the Paige and Craig and the lying through her teeth is Lindsay put up a story today of Kristen Cavalieri admitting that there was overlap between her and Craig and Paige, and that she's the one that cut it off. And when Lindsay shouted out and was like, I remember when I told Paige about this and Craig screamed at me for hours. Well, here's the thing. Paige also had her hand of trying to make Lindsay look like a liar, right? She blamed Lindsay for turning in the story to the blog about Craig being drunk. Lindsay was like, it wasn't me. It just simply wasn't me. She knew it was Danielle. She said it was Danielle. She still was mad at Lindsay about that. Never will get that. I just think that there's a lot of stuff that happened, and I can respect Paige's loyalty to her boyfriend at the time, but she's lucky that people are so forgiving of her, because I don't know if I could be if I were Lindsay. A lot of the drama that got started and was kicked up around the time that Paige and Craig started dating was very much Craig's fault. Some of us saw that. And I would have been like, girl, I never need to be cool with you. Now, I will say, I don't think Craig is somebody that you can have their back in public and then correct them in private, because I don't think his brain computes that. We already know the truth gets lost deep in that mind of his. So I think it's actually a disservice to stand up for him in public and correct him in private. Also, we had the announcement today that Paige will no longer be coming back to the summer house. And listen, I was not shocked by it. I think we're in for more cast shakeups. At the end of the reunion, Lindsay admitted she will not be staying in the summer house. She may appear on screen for a couple weekends, but she is not going to be living at the house next summer because Gemma's a baby. She wants to be like present for that part of her life, and totally understandable. I think what Paige has made from Summer House is amazing. She's coming out with a pajama / loungewear line. I'm definitely going to grab me a few pieces because I love me a good lounge set. I definitely need something else to wear besides my old t-shirts. But nothing's wrong with the old t-shirt. I love me a good family reunion t-shirt. But nevertheless, I'm really happy for her. I'm interested to see where the show goes from here. Honestly, if they recast, I wouldn't be upset about it. It does make complete sense. I would just say that new cast has really, really, really big shoes to fill. Really huge shoes to fill, because Summer House has been a great show through and through. That's going to go ahead and be it on my feelings of the Summer House reunion part 2. Like I said, I had a good time. Also, before I go, y'all know what I watched. I watched that New York Next Gen NYC Next Gen, the one with Brooks Marks, Ariana Bierman, Candy Burris, and a whole bunch of other people. I liked it. I think I'm gonna watch it again and again until it gets on my nerves, but I did have fun. Don't forget to comment and let me know your feelings. How do you feel about Paige leaving? How do you feel about if they were to recast the show? What kind of age group do you want to see? Are you sad about this kind of being the end of Summer House as we know it? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will talk to y'all next time.